Hey, welcome back to Snapbolt Games. My name is Max, and I'm back with another Pauper League, and I just cannot keep my hands off playing Ponza. This is straight red-green Ponza, Gruel Ponza today. Let's go. I'm going to go into a deck tech and all the card choices in a second. My YouTube channel is youtube.com/snapbolt. Go to the channel, check it out, and subscribe. It's really the best way to support me. I record all my leagues on Twitch, twitch.tv/snapboltgames. So follow me there. I also post on Twitter and Reddit when I go live. So you can look out for those. It's pretty random schedule, but I always post when I go live. Okay, let's get into a deck tech and then let's play League. I've been playing a lot of Ponza recently. I think it's pretty well positioned. Obviously, you just crush Tron. There's a lot of FAMs right now. But this deck is also just pretty reasonable, essentially against anything. I've been playing actually Rug Ponza with Jewel Thief, the new card, the 3 mana 3/3 Vigilance Trample that makes a treasure. But I'm going back to just try straight red green Ponza. I think this might be the best list I've come up with. Um, so let's get into all the card choices. I'm playing the full 8 land destruction spells. And because we're just straight red green, we don't have to play Mole Drifter. We get the room for the full 4 dinos, the full 4 visionary, everything like that. A new card I'm trying is two Owlbear here. I think this card's solid, just 5 mana 4/4 trample. When it ETBs, you draw a card. Seems a little bit clunky. I haven't liked it too much in the past, but I'm gonna try it again here. And there's a couple of reasons why. So when we had Jewel Thief, the treasure from Jewel Thief helped splash Mole Drifter, but now we're just straight red green. So I think Jewel Thief gets worse. You don't have as much card advantage in this list, so you really want everything that you can to draw a card. So that's why we have the full 4 Visionary, Packmates, and Owlbears. I just ran a list with 2 Jewel Thief, and I 4-1 that league. This exact 75, just -2 Owlbear, +2 Jewel Thief. And it was pretty good, but I'm going to try the Owlbear here just to mix it up. I don't know which one is better. I like the cheaper card with 2 Jewel Thief, but I'm going to try the more expensive card, the better Cascade hit, and the more card advantage in Owlbear. Another new card I'm trying, which is another basically the main reason why I'm trying to go straight red green and not splash Moed, is because we get to play 3 Razor's Rings in this deck. Could even play 4 potentially. This is a ETB tapped land green red and 4 mana sack draw card. Seems like it's pretty bad, but this deck often has problems where it gets flooded and you get a lot of mana between Arbor Elf, Utopia Sprawl, Wild Growth, and Acid Moss. So a lot of times you just like Thermal Curse them, Minvoli Acid Moss them, but then all you have is like a Packmate, and you can't really close out the game. You have like 10 mana, but no cards. So having Racer's Ring to just draw 1 card has been honestly like instrumental in winning some games. So 2 Racer's Rings, only 2 Highland Forest. I know that you can only enchant forests with Utopia Sprawl. And this is not a forest where Highland Forest is. So that is a small downside, but you're not really going to want to keep hands that are just like Racer's Ring, Sprawl anyway. That's not a very good hand. So you're often going to want a forest anyway. I did, again, want the 4th Racer's Ring, but then I was like envisioning hands where it's like double Racer's Ring, Elf, Sprawl, and you can't really keep that hand. So I think 3 might be the correct number. Maybe 4 is worth. Maybe 2 is the correct number, but we're going 3. It was really good for me in my last league, so we're going to run it again here. And again, only 2 Highland Forest. You really don't want that many tap lands. Your mana's pretty good now with Sprawl and Acid Moss to help fix. And I also do really like a couple of mountains in the deck. You have plenty of green sources, and then the untapped red source can be really nice at times, but also you have all these red cards in the sideboard. So when you're bringing in like Pyroblasts and Cannonades, you want extra red sources, especially untapped red sources are pretty good post board. It can cost you because if you're have like a keepable 1 land hand with mountain, you can't actually keep. But I really do think a couple mountains is strong in this deck. And I've seen some other players 5-0ing with similar lists. So I think this deck is just really strong. I've been 4-1ing most of the time with Ponza. So really like it. Still have the 4 bolts in the deck. Sideboard really heavily geared towards burn with 4 weather. We have 3 calming verse for boggles, 3 cannonades, 3 grudge, and 2 pyroblast. The last thing I'll mention is I'm trying the thermal curse in the main deck again. I had a couple on the side, but I actually do like it in the main deck. Sure, you run out of gas sometimes, but the extra land destruction actually is good. Plus, then you don't need extra land destruction on the side, so it frees up the sideboard for all these really powerful, narrow but powerful sideboard cards. So without further ado, let's just get right into round one. Let's go. All right, welcome to round one. We're against Piggy 12. This hand is actually pretty bad. We have no one drops. We don't have any accelerators or bolt. Sure, our mana's fine, but we have 7 drop, 6 drop, 5 drop, 2 lands, and some land destruction. It's just a mulligan. This deck mulligans a fair amount. This hand's actually pretty good. I think I want to keep all my lands, and I think I'm going to keep both packmates as well. Just going to put back a bolt. We don't know if bolt is going to be good in this matchup yet or not, and these draw us more cards towards more lands and more spells, so I think it's a pretty easy keep both packmates. This deck can struggle just against like Fey decks and decks that can disrupt us a lot, like decks with a lot of removal. Jund can actually be a pretty bad matchup. I can leave a bolt and play a Racer's Ring, or I can foretell a packmate. If I go tap land, leave up bolt, I have a chance to bolt and then visionary next turn. I think just getting packmate down sooner is better, because then I can just cast packmate for 2 mana next turn, maybe draw like another untapped land or more stuff to do, and I can just play my Racer's Ring next turn. That was a close decision there. Looks like we're against red-black affinity here. Looks like, oh no, maybe it's just red-black mid-range, like mostly Rakdos it could be, because they played basic. Wasn't even paying attention. All right, packmate, draw, tap land, go. So we do need to draw more lands here, but we have a handful of gas. Cast down the packmate. Ancestral Recall. That's not what we want to see. I have 9 cards in hand here. We're definitely in trouble here. Our draw. Oh, it's Goblin combo. Okay, duh. That makes sense. This should be a pretty bad matchup as well. We have like the main deck duress, sure. We just don't really have anything. We can bring in cannonades. That's about it. What'd they matron for? They matron for Prospector. They took a bolt. Yeah, it's pretty bad for us actually. All right, let's attack. We're likely to get combo, but I think I need to just play Visionary and hope we don't die, because if I just foretell packmate, I feel like it's just a little too slow. I need to like hit my land drops here. Otherwise, I'm just going to lose anyway. We were on a mulligan. Our hand was pretty slow, and then this should also be a pretty bad matchup. So we bring in triple cannonade, maybe 1 or 2 grudge, because they play some number of artifact lands. And then I think that's all we bring in. We take out like some dinos and some owlbears, or just some of the slower stuff, basically. I think I want to keep in all the land destruction too. Again, sure, we could lose here, but they knew about this bolt. They're not just going to like combo into it. All right. I mean, of course they were likely to have it, but I feel like if I just foretell this and then pass, I'm just not winning. So I don't really like doing that. Then they can just wait, progress their board, and then still combo like later. So that's why I played Visionary. So they have an Intro to Prophecy in hand, but we don't know if they have the actual win yet, so we have to wait. Turn 5 combo from them. Our draw was just way too slow. We didn't really interact. All right, the Intro to Prophecy. They 1 bottom, 1 top. It's a bad sign. Okay, that's game. We won't make them do it. Now they just make infinite mana and then munitions infinite times. So that is game. I think we do this and maybe this. No relics or anything in the sideboard right now. We're not really prepared for this matchup, but I think our sideboard plan is fine here. Just try to turn 2 land destruction them, or like have a nice cannonade is our best plan, I think. Like, what would we cut if we wanted to play another Dino? What would we have to cut? Like a Packmate or a Visionary or something? Not sure. Sounds okay. You can just go turn 2 attack for 1 for Tell Packmate. And then not sure what we're gonna do next turn. We'll see. Guess it depends what they do. They just play a Putrid Goblin. Okay. I don't think I should just leave up Cannonade yet. That seems bad to me. Let's just play Packmate. Utopia Sprawl. Just Sprawl, name red, foretell another Packmate. And now next turn we can leave up Cannonade. I think we just had to progress our board there again. If we get turn 3'd, we get turn 3'd, but I do think we need to keep playing cards. Interesting. Nameless Inversion. Oh, because can they get this back from the graveyard or something? It's kind of weird. Don't want to play Arbor Elf. I think I'm fine stacking up my enchantments here. Let's play Packmate, draw, boarding party. So I have 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. I'm just gonna boarding party here, right? We hit Visionary. Okay. But now they need to combo like right now, basically. It's still kind of hard for them. They still need Skirk Prospector, first day of class, and then a way to win also. I could have played it more slowly and just left up Cannonade, but I think just jamming and then like leaving up Cannonade later is better. I know this is a little bit risky, but I think like players often in these matchups don't take enough risks. Because if you just play too carefully, then you just get behind as is, and then they can combo you because you didn't apply enough pressure. Oh yeah, they can search Nameless Inversion with Matron. Exactly. Makes sense. Alright, tap land is a good sign. A braid the 6/3, sure. Bolt. Bolt is great. Don't want to have to cannonade for sure. I think I just attack with Visionary and Packmate and pass the turn. I could bolt this, attack with everything, and then play it in Arbor Elf as well, but I think it's better to just attack for 5. They're not going to block here. And then now we have, oh wow, they do block. I guess they're really feeling the pressure. Now this won't persist no matter what, basically, because it has a -1/-1 counter. They could deadly dispute it, but I think that's fine. Don't want to just bolt it. I don't want to cannonade it away right now to play around deadly dispute. Just pass. Boarding party's probably our best draw. They shred memory. They're probably getting first day of class here. They could get another putrid goblin. It's pretty slow though. I wonder if I should have played another Arbor Elf. Get first day of class. 4 cards in hand. One of them is First day of class. I don't want to bolt this. They can unearth it, but I guess they can do that later anyway. But I'm just going to attack. They'll probably trade. I'll play another Arbor. They'll be at 7. I'll have Bolt and Cannonade up. Dino. Dino is great. 3, 6, 7. Dino. Into Thermokarst. Don't think it really matters which land we kill. Just attack here. They don't chump. Interesting. Pass the turn. It'll be pretty tough for them to combo through Cannonade, I think. It's possible. They just don't have it. They're at 7, so I'm just going to attack with everything. They're dead on board unless they have interaction here, because they can block here, take 7. All right. Oh, they have something. Oh, this doesn't do it. They could draw into something. This is still 7. Okay, we got it. So that was a good lesson, because if we didn't apply the pressure early, sure, we took some risks in that game. We could have lost. But if we didn't do that, that would have given them more time to find the combo later. And we might not have been able to hang later. But because we took some risks early, applied the pressure with boarding party, that just really put us far enough ahead where later we were able to easily leave these up turn after turn while still applying pressure. So took some risks, paid off. I think 2 Dino is still fine. Triple Cannonade's just really what we want. They've shown a lot of basics as well. Owlbear seems pretty bad, but maybe play 1 and 2 Dinos or something. No, Dino is just so big, and it can cascade into Cannonade as well. They usually play like Vault and Great Furnace, but we've seen so many basics and indestructible lands from them. I don't think Weather the Storm is good. Let's try this. Rip Moe. Again, it's good, but this has better mana, and you get to play Racer's Ring, which I really like. Okay, we have turn 2 land destruction, turn 3 land destruction. Let's go. They play double indestructible land, and now I can just Visionary. But okay, of course they play an artifact land now. Okay, I'm just gonna Thermokarst them. Nice. You always want to like land destruction early because that can lock them out of playing good spells and finding more lands. Like if they don't have another land, they might not be able to Deadly Dispute now. Skirk Prospector. It's kind of scary. Double indestructible land is really annoying given our hand. But Wild Growth was actually a really good draw. Okay. Hope we don't die. There's a mountain. Munitions. So they can kill our Arbor Elf here. It's actually fine. I can kill their Prospector. And if I draw an untapped land, I could just boarding party. Thermokarst. So I think I want to go Acid Moss this, Bolt this right now. Yeah, because I don't get to attack for 2, but I get an extra land so I can boarding party next turn. So it's just Acid Moss this and Bolt this right now. While they can't sack it to munitions or anything, or Deadly Dispute. They can unearth it, but just taking that out seems good to me. Nameless Inversion. Okay. Another one. That's annoying. All right. Let's just boarding party here. This card is so strong. Nice. Bolt was a great hit. think the 4 bolts are just kind of necessary in this deck, like I was saying. Somewhat of a necessary evil. Okay, I can kill both their lands. Maybe they don't have enough lands at that point. See if they get a third prospector or they get a putrid. Interesting. So I'm going to go attack first and then just go Thermokarst, Thermokarst. They'll probably just block, shoot me, which is fine. Not too much I can really do about that. And go land. Thermokarst this. Thermokarst this. And see, this is where Eraser's Ring becomes really good. We just are out of gas completely, but if we draw a land, we can just draw an extra card. Ooh, Carnarium. That's a nice one to kill. Packmate. Okay. They could combo us here for sure. But they're at 8. So they're going to have to start blocking next turn. We've already dealt with 2 Skirk Prospectors. Matron for Prospector. Okay. They probably only have the tap land in hand because we've killed a lot of their lands. Oh, for another Putrid Goblin. Do they not have the first day of class? So I think that if I go Sprawl and then 1, 2, 3, 4, draw, I have 3 mana left. I think it's worth it to play the Sprawl. It's essentially free. Draw. Attack with both. Then just play the land, I think. All right, they're just trying to trade for our stuff. Just getting a little flooded, which I was talking about. This is one of the problems of the deck. It's still a really close game here. They might not have first day of class yet. Mono Putrid Goblins. Where's our Tramplers? So redraw. There we go. 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 mana short. That is brutal. Let's actually trade here. At least offer the trade. Yeah, they just chump. I want to be able to get through with as much trample as possible, given the opportunity. Duress us. I like that. Can't believe they still have Duress in their deck. So their hand is 2 unknowns, 1 card left. Okay, I think we're ahead now, but they could draw into the combo. They can draw Ancestral. 3, 7, Dino. I mean, I'm going to cast it. It's worth it to, make them at least sack these. Oh, whoa. Oh, I guess they couldn't sack because then Cannonade kills the persisted one. But it's worth it to have these have a counter because then they don't automatically come back. So that was actually a good hit, even if it might not have looked that good. Now I'm just going to play Arbor Elf, pass. Not going to attack. Force them to munitions my packmate down if they want to take it out, which might be a good play. I think they might want to do that. Oh, they sacked the land. Yeah. Okay, makes sense. We still have a 6/5 trample and they have 2 1/1s. They're not close to comboing now. They need to find first day of class and Skirk Prospector likely. They cycle Unearth and concede. Wow. Why didn't they just Unearth for Matron? Get Prospector. Then they block Matron, Putrid Goblin to go to. They were in rough shape. They were in rough shape. That was a close one. Ooh, we were drawing Dino into Cannonade. Nice. All right, Ponza got there against red black goblins. That's a tough matchup, but this deck is really powerful. Like you're really focused. You're doing your own thing. You're playing really big creatures. This deck is sweet. I think it's got game against every deck in the format. Let's go round two. All right, welcome to round two. We're against Slug Club with a great icon there. Let's mulligan, 0 lands. Hmm. Man, these hands are bad. I feel like we should go to 5 and hope for like a nut draw because turn 3 Visionary is just not that good. All right, keep, put back Dino. Dino? I think it's just a little too greedy to keep anything else because if this Arbor Elf doesn't survive, then it's just so bad for us. Okay, kind of wish we kept a Dino now, but we did not. We do have a turn 2 cast Packmate with this hand. We can make 4 mana on turn 2 with Utopia's Brawl plus Arbor Elf, but we'll see if that matters. They keep 7. They mulligan to 6. They only have 3 cards left. They have a 5/9 on turn 2. We have a lot of. We can bring in all the Calming Verses in this matchup as well. We have a lot of mana here as well. Okay, there's a Bolt. Not really what we need. We're definitely in trouble. Deathblade's also a problem. I guess I can Bolt it. They have 2 cards left. The problem is that about their 5/9 Vigilance first strike. Second Bolt. Their first striker is the real problem here. Just gonna pass. I can also use Arbor Elf to not have to block with it. I'm not really that scared of this right now. It's fine. Now they put Ethereal Armor there. So now I can just bolt it. It's actually worked out for me, I think, pretty well. Sure, they still have the Sentinel's Eyes they can recast next turn, but we're going to 5. And then we can start chumping next turn. Boarding party. Racer's Drain. Do we chump with Packmate or do we chump with Elf? I think we chump with Packmate. That way we could cast a Dino if we draw it. So they're just probably going to go Sentinel's Eyes. Nothing else. Hopefully they don't play the protection from green thing. Sentinel's Eyes from hand. Basically gonna have to indefinitely chump this. If we have a string of really good draws though, we could still come back. They have the pro green, right? 0 cards in hand, 2 ends. Just so classic that deck. That deck is just so classic. Could have chumped last turn, but I don't know. I think Calming versus. I think it's kind of a necessary evil. I don't think Weather the Storm is good. I think Cannonade is okay. Maybe just 2 copies. They go wide sometimes. We could just ignore that. The problem is they function on such a low amount of mana, but we can also just completely mana screw them too. We could keep in the land destruction. Maybe we just bring in all this and take out the land destruction just because all their spells cost like 1 mana. It's just so hard to completely mana screw them because even if we like turn 2 land destruction them and they just go land, play a 1-drop, play a 1-drop, like they can beat us that way. But if we like Calling Verse plus Cannonade with some big creatures out, I think that's a better plan to win. Maybe this is incorrect because again, we have Cannonade and all these things that die to Cannonade in our deck, but Again, I just don't think land destruction's a reliable plan. Sure, we could just completely screw them. Maybe just two cannonade, three acid moths, because this at least ramps us to. I don't want to be flooded on cannonade effects. While it is good, I think I like this better. After thinking about it a little bit more. Okay. Well, hopefully they kept a one lander or something. Also, strong opponents are likely to keep land heavy hands against you. I'm not going to offer the trade here. I want all the mana I can get so I can get up to Dino. Wow, that was a good draw. Arbor plus Enchant Land combo is just really, really good. Getting 4 mana on turn 2 is just really crazy. Get the second Highland Forest out of our deck. Next turn we have 4, 5, 6 mana. If we draw an untapped land, we can Dino on turn 3. They have another land. Row blue and green. Oh my god. Another Dino. It's not actually the worst. And then I just attack. If I draw a wild growth, I get 9, 10, 11 mana, still not enough to double Dino. This seems so sketchy. I can just bolt. I could just bolt this. Don't have it though, unfortunately. I also have the I keep forgetting the name of it, but the Destroy All Enchantments card. Visionary. 3, 5, 7 mana Dino. Boarding party. Okay, we're doing it. Love hitting boarding party off that. Into Owl Bear. That's the chain, right? That's in the dark the best cascade combo that this deck can hit. Into Cannonade. Okay. That's just a lot of power. 7 mana makes 16 power. 10 of it is trample. 6 of it is haste. They have a 1/2. They have a 2/2 first strike pro blue pro green. And we just made 16 power for 7 mana. That was just turn 4 as well. This deck is sweet. Cascade is just a pretty broken mechanic. Deathblade. Sure. I'm probably just playing another Dino though. They could easily have a protection spell to stop Cannonade, and I take myself off a lot of mana if I go for Cannonade. Hmm. There's there's Calming Verse. That's actually it's actually good, right? Because I can just play Calming Verse right now. Although I don't know if I need to. I can just attack with all of these, and then if they try to play like a pump spell, then I could Cannonade potentially to let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. It's kind of annoying because if I need to Cannonade mid combat, I don't get to use the mana from these Arbor Elves. So I could just also if I Calling Verse, if I don't want to blow up my own enchantment, I have to tap all my lands, which is also pretty awkward. What is the best line here? Is it just to play Dino in case I hit another boarding party? Can also hit like a good spell, like a bolt or something. If I just attack with all these and they don't have anything, it's going to be really good for me. And I likely won't even have to cannonade. I think I'm just gonna dino. I don't see how that could be so wrong. Into cannonade. Hold control, cast cannonade. I guess I'm untapping. Doesn't hurt. They concede. Okay. So cannonade would have been good enough. But dino into cannonade definitely good enough. They were actually just, if they didn't have anything, they were just dead on board to 16 power. That was sweet. Cannonade looked good that game, but generally their plan is to make one tall creature, like one big creature like they did in game one. Let's just run it. I like this plan. I again don't think land destruction is that great against them. Again, because they're just so incentivized to keep land heavy hands where it makes land destruction even worse. Like them keeping a 7-card hand with one land seems like crazy to me. We have the non-bow here, but I think this hand's a mulligan anyway. Try to get something a little bit better. This hand's pretty bad too, but I think we're keeping now. I like that. Maybe I should get that sound clip for Dino. I'm gonna keep this bad hand. I just don't want to go to 5. This is at least like a functional draw here. It literally seems like that deck has this card on turn 1 like 90% of the time. And they probably do because they mulligan a lot and they keep hands with this card. It's so funny that Laguna Band Trailblazer is a good card in their deck. Okay, they play Secluded Step. So they do have a, looks like a pretty land light hand. That is a good draw. Let's go Foretell, tap land, go. We just want them to play all the enchantments out right now. Sure, this still gets bigger, but we just really want them to play enchantments. You know, or just not really have anything. Play some like 1/1s. Yeah, Pauper is a very powerful format here. Defiant Strike. I don't usually see that one. Interesting. Especially Pauper's kind of a weird format because generally the removal spells are so much stronger than the creatures you can play. Hyena Umbra. If I kill these, it's not even like helping me that much yet. Just gonna go Packmate. Try to Calming Verse next turn. This is really only giving them +2/+2 right now. I can take one more hit. Arbor Elf, great draw. I should have played Forest, left up, pretend I had Bolt, but not sure how relevant that is. And again, maybe keeping the land destruction in is good because they just don't have that many lands in their deck. It's kind of tough to say. Oh god, Emerge Unscathed. So I can Calming Verse them to maybe survive the Emerge Unscathed, but I'm going to 5, and this is going to have 5 power next turn from the Emerge Unscathed, so I think I lose. Damn it. Do I have any outs? I hate losing to that deck. Sick. Yeah. We're playing the Bears tonight, but looks like it's not going to be enough. Bolt. We actually can't even cast it the way we tapped. They're just going to Emerge Unscathed here and kill us. All right. GG's. I'm even though I lose to that deck sometimes, fair amount, I still stand by that deck is just not good. it just is gonna that deck's gonna mulligan a lot. It's gonna like really fold to certain strategies, especially decks that have black mana. That deck seems like it has a really rough time. I just really don't think it's a good deck. So I'm gonna stand firm on my position there. 1-1. Let's go round three. Plus, I'm the natural 4-1er. I 4-1 all the time. I never 5-0. So we still have the 4-1 alive. Let's go for it. All right. After losing to the Menace, we're against I Will Eat Your Grandma. Would you like to play first? Yes. Got a mulligan. Man, this hand. Let's keep it. I don't like it, but that's what we got. Let's just keep all our land destruction. We have a turn 2 Foretell Packmate, hopefully turn 3 Thermal Karst, turn 4 Acid Moss, but could have gone to 5, but a turn 2-3 curve is, not bad. And I don't think it's a mulligan. Doesn't feel good though. We have a lot of untapped lands in our deck. We could draw wild growths and stuff. Nice. They bounce land here. That would be just so great. Seeker of the Way. Okay, I'm just going to kill planes, I think. Could have killed the mountain so they can't looting, but most of their creatures are white. Of course. Planes into Hawk. We definitely need the cannonades in this matchup too. Land is huge as well. Tap land. Probably want a Packmate here. So it's a better blocker for Seeker. Okay. Most likely casting Acid Moss next turn. Just keeping them down on mana seems good. I'm in trouble. So I'm taking 5, going to 11. I'm probably going to Acid Moss them. I could just Owlbear. But again, they have 3 Hawks in hand. So they're going to Hawk next turn anyway. All right, I'm just Owlbearing. Saves damage. Destroy the land isn't that good because if they don't have another land, they get to Hawk anyway. All right, we're 2 mana off Dino. Veteran into Hawk. Yep, it's pretty bad. Just getting crushed here. All the cannonades coming in for sure. They attack for 1. Again, maybe playing Acid Moss last turn was right, but then I just take so much damage. We really need to draw untapped land into Dino to get some good blocks. Plus, they can just attack with everything this turn. We're at 10. They'll probably wait one more turn. Untap land. Let's see. I could just double Visionary. Then next turn I get to guaranteed Dino. I mean, I could boarding party into Bolt, but okay, now we can take them off of red mana so they can't bolt us. And then they attack for 3, put us to 5, but then we get to Dino. Maybe stabilize. I also like bringing in 1 Weather the Storm in this matchup. Sounds weird, but helps you just not die. It saved me in the last league I played. Could even try boarding in 2. Definitely want to Thermal Karst. I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. But I need to Dino. I need Flying Blocker. I almost clicked on boarding party. It wouldn't have cast it. I had 7 mana floating, but okay. Bolt, a bird, I think. Because I can have a bunch of ground blockers. Don't want to die in the air. And then next turn I can kill their land, maybe stabilize. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I can go boarding party Thermokarst next turn. It's pretty good. Killed 3 of their lands. They have 1 left. They might not be able to cast any more spells. No attack from them. Ooh, another dino. I still think I want to boarding party here because I want to make sure to double spell. So it's boarding party. Maybe we hit land destruction here too. Owlbear, I'll take that. I didn't be able to attack. I have 3 ground walkers here. They're at 27 though. I could just attack with boarding party. Or I could just attack with Owlbear. Or just Dino, I guess. No, I can't. I need blockers. I need blockers. I think no attack and then a big attack next turn is what I want to do. I just need to not take any damage. Next turn I can play another dino. If they play a land, I'll just kill it. If we can win this game, it's a pretty good showing of the deck here. You want a dino main one usually because you could hit another boarding party. So now I think I just attack with maybe everything except for Visionary. They're at 27. If I attack with Owlbear, boarding party, dino, Owlbear. Maybe 1 less creature than that. Maybe not this dino. This is close. But if I attack with... Maybe I just attack with all my tramplers. It's not like they really have good attacks with their hawks. If I attack with boarding party as well, I have 3 blockers back. They could just take everything. I think I want 4 blockers back. I think I just attack with the tramplers. They're at 13. And now I have 12, 16, 20 power trample, plus my other creatures. Nice. Whew! I'm shocked we won that game from the position we were in, but that was pretty sweet. We didn't even do anything too crazy. We just like kind of slowly land destroyed them. I'll take it. Wait. Did I never... Did I have a Packmate Foretold that I just never cast? I think I had a... I think I had a Packmate that was exiled that I just didn't cast. Is that correct? Did I just forget about it? Was it not showing up on my screen or something? I think I might have punted multiple times, but looks like I got rewarded by this super strong deck. Okay. Oh yeah, they journeyed the Packmate. That's what it was. Thank you, thank you. I was like, did I not cast it? Because I didn't see it in the graveyard, and I didn't think I had any cards in exile. I just forgot about the journey. Okay. So we want all the cannonades. I don't think they're the artifact land version, so I don't think Grudge is good. I like 1 weather. 1 calming verse actually seems pretty good too. They showed 1 journey to nowhere, and they might have munitions as well. Blowing up like multiple journeys is just so strong. I could just do something like this. And then what's the last card to take out? Boarding party's okay against them. I'm taking out these because they die to cannonade. I could take out even an Arbor Elf. They have a lot of burn spells, but even if they burn an Arbor Elf, it's still pretty good for me. I can take out one Thermokarst to not like kind of flood as the game goes along. Yeah, Bear is doing its best Molly D impression, but it's not that good. Molly D is where it's at. Just trying to go with the Racer's Ring today. All right, 10 seconds, plenty of time. That was kind of tough. I wasn't sure what the last cut should be or if I sideboarded correctly at all. This deck is just so fun. I like don't get tired of it. And it plays leagues really fast too, which is nice. I'm gonna pause real quick. All right, game 2 starting. We're gonna mulligan. 0 land there. Um, this hand's pretty bad as well. Let's keep. Want the Arbor just to have more mana. I could put back Bolt because I have the Cannonade. Cannonade seems really good against them. I could just put back Owlbear. I'm pretty far from that. I like this. I could probably even lead turn 1 Ring, turn 2 like Bolt Elf, or Foretell Packmate. I like it. See, the land destruction last game kind of just can give you some free wins. Where it's like opponent might have been able to easily finish us off, but because they had no lands, they couldn't. And I'm playing this because this way I have Bolt up for like a Seeker or even just for this. It's funny, but I don't really want to go Arbor Elf. I'm just gonna foretell Packmate because then I could Cannonade next turn, or I could just cast Packmate. I know I can't Acid Moss next turn, but also if I play Arbor Elf, they're so likely just to go Bolt Elf, untap, play something else. But if I foretell Packmate, they don't really get to use their Bolt very well. So I think this is a pretty easy foretell Packmate. Even though it looks like we want to play Arbor Elf, I don't think we do because of that sequence, specifically with Bolt your Arbor Elf is just so bad for us. Now I probably go play Packmate, see what I draw, leave up bolts, but I'm probably going to play one Arbor Elf here because I need to make sure to have more mana next turn. And if they bolt Arbor Elf now, so be it. They were F6'd. Battle Screech. Okay. Do it. Nice. I'm just gonna cast this right now. I don't even want to mess around. I also get to play another Arbor Elf um, after Cannonade here, which is nice. Don't want them to have strands or anything. Then I get to go Acid Moss their mountain next turn. They only have 4 cards left. They can flash this back with Stir, but attack for 3. Put them to 21. And then I want to prioritize casting the Acid Moss next turn. We can Bolt plus Acid Moss. Okay, Palace Sentinels. That's like so incredibly risky from them. Because now I can just go attack with both. They block here. I bolt this. I have the Monarch. They have no creatures in play. They probably were forced into it, but I don't think this is going to work out for them. These. I have the bolt. We take the monarch. Bolt this. Rasmonian Rally. Wow. Guess it worked out for them. And we'll go to end step. We could draw another bolt before weather. So it's a draw card, and then we'll weather the storm here for 12. Draw. Acid moss. They'd still have to attack to take back the monarch, though. Yeah, but they don't play Ephemerate, and I didn't think they play Rasmonian Rally, so kind of crazy. They take the monarch and get some chumpers. We're in trouble. Was not expecting the Rasmonian Rally. Just going to try to take out both their mountains here. Pass. Boarding Party is a fantastic draw. Obviously, if they're blocking our pack mate with Palace Sentinels, we can draw another Cannonade as well. Third Battle Screech? Damn. It's a hell of a card. They have the wrong art, though. So we get to kill their mountain, but them having the monarch, they're so likely to have. All right, we can draw Cannonade. They're so likely to have to draw into more red sources. So I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. I think I want to just kill their mountain, attack, foretell. I could cast Packmate, and if I draw an untapped land, it's obviously better. I get to double spell, but I think it's too risky. I want to make sure to kill this mountain. Hopefully just lock them out of casting red spells. They could easily have like a Faithless Looting or something, or draw into it. They won't be able to cast. Make them keep chumping here. Or maybe even like a weird Rites of Initiation or a Goblin Bushwhacker or something. We get a forest, and then foretell this. Pass. Another mountain. Monarch is just such a frustrating mechanic. They're attacking for 4. They don't want to play any more Battle Screeches. I guess they're trying to play around another Cannonade. Could have waited on that first Cannonade. It was just such a nice time to do it. It's Packmate draw. Nice. I was going to say we should do this main one because we could draw another Packmate or a Boarding Party, which we did. Boarding Party into Thermokarst. Okay. They have Bolt. They should have floated and then killed this. I guess they could double block the Boarding Party here, but I still think I need to offer the trade. We're somewhat doing it. We're keeping them off of red sources. They don't want to block with their Palace Sentinels. Interesting. I guess they can still rally the peasants here, but that's only, what, 12 damage. I'm at 22. They don't have red mana right now. And look, even when we don't have time to pop Racer's Ring, it's still just like a fine dual land, just the same as any other dual land would be most of the time. So I really like the Racer's Ring. Flashback Screech. Okay, time for Cannonade. They're probably trying to set up a lethal rally. Nice. deck is so good. Cannonade? No. That was a miss. More mana to crack these rings with, though. Might have to go chump, chump, chump. Especially if they have red spells in hand. They could go strands as well here. Strands name red. That's really bad that they have strands, yeah. Not much I could do here. So if they have a Rally the Peasants, do we die? It's 18, 22 damage. Yeah, Rally kills us. Forgotten Cave. Battle Screech, the fourth Battle Screech. They have strands to play around Cannonade, but they might want a Cannonade when we attack. They could also just not have Rally. Flashback Screech. Monarch just so busted. Dino into Elf. Don't think that's going to do it. 4 Battle Screeches, just a little bit too much. Plus having the Monarch. The Rasmonian Rally was so sick. This card's cool. Any free spell is just like pretty strong. I just don't like this as much as like Rally or Rights or white creatures you control get +2/+2. All those effects I feel like are better than Rally. Sure, you can cast this for 0 mana, but I feel like it's still worse overall. Oblivion Ring. They still have strands in the yard. But if they don't have, they're going to have to do some, oh, they're going to strands us. They need to leave 1 bird back. But they're not going to have lethal unless they have a pump spell next turn. I guess they could have a bolt. Because they're going to strands name red block here. Seeker. Bounce land, okay. Racer's Ring, not good. Well, I think we're dead. We can draw another card. And then we can make 3 more mana. So we could draw a Cannonade. But then they have strands. Maybe they somehow use strands and we get the Monarch. Then we draw a card into Cannonade. Oh, I shouldn't have attacked there. That was a mistake. And now they strands red. Oh. I shouldn't have attacked with Arboret. That was just a mistake. I mean, this game was probably over. Let's see if we would have drawn anything. All right. Let's go to the next one. I think I like all the land destruction on the play, especially because we saw bounce land there. It makes our land destruction even better. You can side out 1 bolt. Bolt's not even that good. It's really only good at killing Seeker, but sometimes I can Cannonade that away anyway. I think I want all the land destruction on the play. Just try to mana through them. All right, we got this. Dino's really good in the matchup. Boarding Party is like so-so, but I think it's enough value that we just want it. Plus, haste is good against Monarch. No, this is just too many expensive cards. I was going to snap Maul, but I was just going to talk about it for a second. It's just like, sure, we go turn 1 Sprawl, turn 2 Foretell, but 5 drop, 6 drop, 7 drop, not going to work. Come on. We just got to go to 5. Could have put back land, but chose to keep the mana. Try to draw into some gas. Man, this is rough. This deck is, it's gonna mulligan a lot. It's pretty inconsistent. Just gonna stack these. Could get blown out by like a cleansing wildfire or something random, but we haven't seen anything yet. We still have Arbor Elves in our deck. We might need the mana later. Man, if we had a Thermokarst here, that would just be fantastic. Looting. Okay, hopefully they play Bounce Land. Strands. Veteran. Just gonna cast this, get more mana. Get a Highland Forest out of our deck. So next turn we can cast any spell that we draw. So we just need to draw spells. They don't have another land. Failed on drawing a spell. Hopefully they just... Wow, they looting into no lands. Come on. We need to like do something now. Wow, they have to discard though. I'm still feeling like we don't have that much time. Oh no, we drew land. Now they're missing lands. So funny that we can only draw lands and they cannot draw lands. It's hilarious. Dino. Okay. Dino into land destruction. They concede. They kept a 7-card hand with 2 lands, cast looting, and then never found another land. We were gonna cascade into Arbor Elf. We didn't have that much going on. I mean, I guess we had a ring, which is huge. Whew! 2-1. Even when you feel like you're down with this deck, you can get there. No, Meow Mix, you're actually wrong. Usually Screw beats Flood. As long as you're not completely screwed as badly as that opponent was, but usually when you're on like that kind of situation, if they had drawn 1 land, then they could start casting 2 drops, and then usually Screw is better than Flood, generally, especially if you build your deck with a low curve. All right. Round 4, 2-1. We're against Brent. 9-9-0. Would you like to play first? Yes. Okay, so we're getting punished with 0 forests in hand here. But I'm just going to keep and slowly start pack mating here. We're just going to start foretelling and casting. Hopefully we can just draw another land naturally. Island Preordained. So it might be mono blue Fae. It could be something else. Could of course be blue black Fae. That's a cool island. I like it. Nice. Had it the whole time. Guess I named green. I don't need more red mana. I only have 8 red spells in my deck, and I already have 2 red sources. Evolving Wilds. Okay, well, I'm just gonna Munvoliasimos this swamp that they're about to get. Yeah. Opponent has cool taste in lands, actually. I'm still gonna just kill the swamp. The fact that they just like tutored swamp right away means they probably need the swamp to cast like Gurmag and removal spells and everything. And they don't have that many black sources in their deck, so if they draw future black sources, I can kill those with future land destruction spells I draw. They usually have like 3 to 4 Ice Tunnel and 2 Swamps, and that's the only black sources they have. I mean, obviously Ash Barrens, but they only have 2 actual swamps. And next turn I could go like Arbor Elf, Hardcast, Packmate. Maybe we get hit by Ninja here. It's actually fine if we do. Because I can potentially double Packmate here, and they don't have black mana. Dino is good. Let's start with Hardcast Packmate, because I can still Arbor I want to be able to dino next turn though. And foretelling packmate's just not as casting the packmate off the foretell is just not as efficient as just hard casting the packmate from hand, because we couldn't have played another spell even if we cast this one. But if we cast this and drew an untapped land, we could have cast double packmate if we wanted to. Brainstorm. Is Brainstorm Ponder? They actually have the swamp. Okay. I mean, I'm just dinoing here for sure. We're like super far ahead right now. I mean, sure, they can have like multiple snuff outs, but they're not snuff outing this right now. Boarding party. Just gonna dino here. It's a good blocker. We get to cascade. Let's just stack these. I have plenty of red sources. Actually, I want my multi-land to produce red though. And just no attacks, because I want to like play around removal to block ninja. I think usually you're good against Stonehorn Dignitary decks because killing their lands is usually pretty solid. Did they miss on that augur? They did. Alright, so I have 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. I think I'm just casting another dino here. They could have counterspell, sure, but I get to like triple spell essentially. I think I'd rather just stack it here, get even more mana for next turn. Countered the dino. Let's just see what we draw off packmate. And then probably no attacks. Then they could hit with Fairy Seer and get another ninja down. Maybe that's just fine. Maybe I just need to kill them. I'm leaving back both packmates though, again, to play around one removal spell for this ninja. Oftentimes blue-black Fae only plays like 3 ninjas. Thorn. That's like such a greedy Thorn. I have so much mana now. Wow. That makes us mana. So it's Sprawl, name red. Start with Boarding Party. Harbor Elf plus a land that makes 5, a forest that makes 5 mana. It's pretty sweet. Red. Then Boarding Party. I could start with Manvuli Asimos, but we'll see. I could just hit a land destruction spell here too. We don't yet. Drawn another Arbor Elf. Solid. Now I think I just go in. Why don't I actually just untap, cast Asimos right now, and then see if they're going to snuff out anything. I get more information that way. Wait, I might want to cast the Arbor Elf. They're F6'd. Okay, so they did not have snuff. So I can foretell packmate or cast Arbor. I think I want to cast Arbor, and then attack with everything. I'm just like putting so much pressure on them, and this way I get to like, I mean, I guess I get to guarantee take the Monarch anyway because I have trample. But I'm also just killing them here. Okay, we got them. They were just going to have to do a bunch of blocking. Our board was still going to be pretty massive. We take the Monarch. Yeah. Okay. Got blue-black Fae there. I think we want these cards. Everything seems pretty good in the matchup, though. Arbor actually does seem decent because they only have a limited number of removal spells that they can actually use. Owlbear can just get countered and it's expensive. Packmate I can at least foretell to play around counters, plus it's just a nice curve filler because it's a 2 and a 4 drop. I think I want all the land destruction. Again, just killing their black sources can be really nice, or just keeping them down on mana. Cannonade's not even that good against them, but they have fairies here, ninjas, spell stutter sprites. It's a lot of stuff. I could even bring in the last one, but I think 2 is reasonable. They're usually like it it sounds better than it actually plays out in the matchup, because a lot of times opponents can just like not overcommit to the board and then you're not in the best position. I'm gonna keep this one land hand. If we're on the draw and if we draw a land, we have a turn 2 land destruction. If not, we still have, 3 mana in our hand. So hopefully we just draw land. Nice. I think I just go for wild growth still, because if I draw forest, I can still thermokarst next turn. They get island. I guess I do not have bolt up. Nice. Just got rewarded. I probably should have played Sprawl named Red last turn. Oh, I could have played Sprawl first. That was just a massive punt. Because now they could go untap land, they have another island, and leave up Spellstutter. Oh man, I was just too excited to thermokarst. I didn't have the patience. Feels like it's GG for me, but obviously it's not. Just overreacting. Ooh, Pyroblast is fantastic. So I don't think it ended up making any difference, but it felt bad to make that mistake. I was just playing a little bit too fast there. And now untapped land, we can slam boarding party. We have bolt up right now. I mean, Pyroblast and bolt up. What is this? Gurmag Angler. Okay. And Bully Asimos. I actually really like that here. Just continuing to take them off black sources. Plus, we ramp and still have Bolt Pyro up right now. So that was just a great draw. I'm gonna Pyro a blue spell here. That for sure I'm gonna Pyro. That's just so much value when it hits. Don't want them to draw a card. Land for Dino. Boarding party into Thermokarst. I'm gonna race here. We have so much more mana. Plus, I can draw land and play a Dino, block this with that too. I guess they could have Hydro, but I still like attacking, I think. Arbor. I think I start by... I guess they could have Spell Stutter or Counter here. Why don't I start with Hardcast Packmate?
Sick.
Yo, Parasite Jathan. Hey, thanks for subbing. Resolves. Now let's just attack and see if they chump. We can take some more damage here. Arbor Elf. I can also block the Gurmag with Packmate and then try to bolt it. It's an option. I mean, this race feels kind of risky, but I feel like we're also ahead. They could just easily have black spells in hand. They're at 8. And they concede before even seeing what happens. I mean, I guess they were just dead on board. I was planning to just take and then attack, and I have Lightning Bolt. So I think they just realized they made a mistake and then that they were dead. They should have stayed back, traded. I mean, this card is just incredible. We would have drawn an Acid Moss, so we would have just cast a Packmate. I guess we could have cast Dino, and then we would have hit. Wait, I guess we would have hit We would have drawn Acid Moss, right? And then we would have hit Visionary. Okay, yeah, we were in a good spot there. Nice, 3-1. I'm telling you, sometimes like it feels like you're not going to win, and then this deck somehow just like pulls out the win. 3-1. It's I called the 4-1 after the second round loss, so let's see if I can come through. Let's go. Sick. All right, we're against Out Zero in the fifth and final round. We are 3-1. We're going for the 4-1. Would you like to play first? Yes. Sadly, I have to mulligan this hand. Tap land, 6-drop, 6-drop, 7-drop, double pack mate. Not going to be enough. Small. This one we'll have to keep. Not the best hand, but I actually don't hate it. Now we have to decide what to put back. I think it's actually just Lightning Bolt. Sounds kind of weird, but we can go turn 1 Racer's Ring, turn 2 Racer's Ring Arbor Elf, turn 3 Acid Moss, and then we have a boarding party still. I think that's what we want to do. Sure, I could have Arbor Elf on 1. Could have some really good draws from that position, but I like playing the ring. Ooh, is this like Black-White Pest? Black-White Pestilence, I mean. Gonna stick to the plan here. Gets our tap land out of the way, which I like. We do have the forest to untap with Arbor Elf. This is really making me think that yes, we only want three tap lands. Or 3 Racer's Ring. Not more than that, because this situation, if we didn't have the forest, if this was a mountain or no other land, that would be bad. So it's Sprawl. I guess I'll name red because I could sack these and foretell. Really want them to play bounce land here. Would be ideal. Spirited Companion. Okay, I want to see this. I want to see what's going on here. Thermokarst. They've gained 6 life from all their lands. That's crazy. Really, we still want to see bounce land. I mean, I still think it's Black-White Pestilence, the creature version. My guess. It could be a mono-white deck, mono-white life gain deck, like with. I mean, they still might have Inspiring Overseer, even if it's black-white. If they play a land I want to kill, I'm definitely going Thermokarst plus Packmate. Love this card too. Such a good boy. All right, they're bouncing Companion, I assume. Yeah. In the third Crossroads. Holy crap, that's a lot of Crossroads. I still think I kill their land. I get to draw a card still. I mean, Owlbears seem good in this matchup. A body that's kind of annoying that gets to cantrip seems good. We're on 5 mana to 2 right now. The Raven into dog. Okay. It might be mono white. Attack, play Owlbear. Hopefully hit another land here. But if we keep drawing spells, it's not the worst either. I feel like they might be mono white life gain. Like mono white. Oh! Good thing I didn't sack that. It's almost a bad misclick. They might just be like mono white mid range with a lot of life gain. It's a kind of sweet build if it is. It seems actually really good. Just forgo the life gain synergies, but play mono white and play all the good cards. Like Inspiring Overseer, the new one. Is it Inspiring Overseer? I always blank on the name. But the 3 mana 2/1 gain a life, draw a card. Play the Spirited Companion, draws a card. Thraben draws a card. Play Core Skyfisher. Then you don't even have to play any of the Soul Sisters and don't play Unicorn. Then you could even play Squadron Hawk and Battle Screech too. I like it. Mono white mid range. I don't know about all these Crossroads, but I mean they're at 25 after taking 3. Overseer right on schedule. Land. Land, please. Oh, green white. What? Okay, land is good. Guess we're just going boarding party. Hope to hit land destruction spell for this. We did not. But we hit another mana source, which is good. At 15, they're at 26. I think I just attack with these. I could attack with all, but I think I'd rather have one blocker back for their ground things. I mean, maybe they just chump. Maybe attack with all was better anyway. But I just want to prolong the game. They have flyers right now. I think this is fine. The trample on this card is super relevant. It would also be interesting. I think it's probably worse, but if you build this deck with Jewel Thief, Owlbear, Dino, and max out on all of those, so many of your threats have trample and they're pretty big that it makes a lot of your creatures like must answer threats because they all have trample. But I think having your creatures all draw a card is more important. Because as you have seen, this deck makes a lot of mana, but you can essentially get like flooded where you have nothing to do. So having every creature you play cantrip is just so important. Okay, we're down to 13. They have 7 cards in hand. Really wanted a land destruction spell for this, but what are you gonna do? Slamming Dino next turn 100%. Green-white familiar land destruction deck? No. So I guess it's the white familiar. Oh, the green familiar makes your the green familiar makes your red and white spells cost 1 less to cast, right? And then the white familiar makes your blue and white spells. So you play those familiars and then you play a bunch of white cards. Then why do you play land destruction too? That doesn't make sense. I'm just gonna dino here. I haven't seen that list though. Somebody link it to me if you can. I like to check out lists. Didn't know that that was a thing. Nice, let's go. They might just still be mono white with a Selesnya Sanctuary. Let's get in there. Yeah, I play a lot of Pauper. Rancorsees play in mono green Stompy and Boggles, but not really too much outside of that. I mean, it wouldn't be that bad in this deck, to be honest, but I just think you're more concerned about value, making sure, again, all your creatures and everything you do draws cards and gives you value rather than having some Rancors where you get blown out. The removal spells in Pauper are just so strong, like Snuff Out, Lightning Bolt, Scred, Galvanic Blast. These are just such strong cards on rate compared to the creatures. You can't really afford to have your creatures not draw a card. Yeah, they've been printing so many value white cards. Like you can literally play white mid range because you can just Jund, like be mono white Jund, just play cards, draw cards slowly, get value. But we're also kind of going over the top of them right now. So we have a lot more stuff to do. And if we eventually run out of gas, then we can start cracking these. Really, again, if you're gonna play Ponza, do not leave home without Racer's Ring. I think it's so good. Okay, just tap 4, search party captain, pass. That's fine. Thermokarst is actually a good one. I'm gonna just lead on Owlbear, and then probably just play a Thermokarst. Could just play both my creatures as well. Let's see what we draw. Mountain. All right, I think I like attack with my tramplers. I'm still at 13. I guess they could have an anthem effect. But I could also just play a Packmate to have 3 ground blockers, then an Anthem effect doesn't even kill me in the air. And attack with my Tramplers. And then I think I'm actually just going to play Packmate. I'd rather get the creature down this turn. I think that's more important. Drawing Lightning Bolt here would be our best draw, I think. I can bolt the Skyfisher right now. No. Okay. We still have 14 power trample, though. And we have 3 blockers this turn. So if I just block a 1 toughness, a 1 power creature with this, they can't kill me. Yeah, they just have literally every white cantripping creature. Leave it to OutZero to play like a really sick white deck. Telling the opponent I really like to look at their list. A lot of value. I guess they could be playing that 3/3 flyer, but I think they're literally playing everything that gives value. Like everything that draws a card when it enters the battlefield. Yeah, he's talking the devotion one. Griffin's talking about the devotion creature. That card's sweet. He said, haha, it's not my list. I'll say, well, the deck you're playing then. Oh, okay. I know he's L0 says USP Duds is the creator. I don't know about all the crossroads, but I think I like the list otherwise. I'm pretty sure that they have. I'm blanking on the name of it, but it's the card I was playing. It's white, colorless. White creatures you control get +2/+2. I'm almost sure that OutZero has it right now. So I think I'll just lead on Thermokarst, kill a land, then they have to play it right now if they want to play it. And if they don't, that really opens it up for me to attack. Otherwise, I can just potentially not attack here. They're gonna have to play the anthem. Yeah, Guardian's Pledge, exactly. So I was able to read this. This is the card I was playing in my white deck. But I like how their list is really good because you don't have to play the Soul Sister Unicorn like combo. You're not as vulnerable to rats because everything draws cards, and then you still get to play Guardian's Pledge. So I really like this list more than the list I was playing. Okay, so now I can just play a Visionary. Boarding Party. That'll be good next turn for sure. Play land. Let's see. I have 14 power trample plus 2 Packmates. But they have like 10. They just get such good blocks right now. I can't attack with everything because they have 2/4/5s and a 4/4. So I'll just pass the turn, draw a card with Ring, and then play a boarding party and maybe go for an all-out attack next turn. It's looking pretty sick. Sick. Oh, so they are playing veteran, but that's another value card. Desert? That's going a little deep. Okay. So now we get to attack with everything. Draw, bolt. Bolt is great too. I can bolt the Skyfisher or I can just bolt them. Another boarding party. 4, 5, 6. Oh no, I can actually cast both boarding parties here. Wait. No, I can't. 1 mana short. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could just acid moth them, not attack with visionary. Are they just dead to bolt? think I just attack with all and then bolt. They're not going to be able to like survive without making a ton of blocks, especially considering I have the bolt. So I'd rather just attack with everything. Yeah, we haven't seen the opponent's list, but we can basically guess everything that's in it at this point. So it is like my Soul Sisters list, but without the Soul Sisters package. And like I've been saying, it looks better to me because sure, this card is another value card that you can gain life off of to stay alive. Then literally everything draws cards. I'm not sure about Search Party Captain. I just don't know if you need it, but it is another cantripping creature that you can play for, potentially 1 mana. So seems sweet. Our creatures are just so big in this deck. Cannonades. They probably have 4 Journey as well. They said USP Duds made the deck. USP DUDS. Might be USP Dudes. I'm not sure how to say the name. I think I just want these 4 cards. They don't have that much removal for Arbor Elf, so even though they died a candidate, I think I want to leave them in. Then take out the other creatures that died a candidate. Leave in all the land destruction. They need a lot of mana to keep like cracking their clues and drawing cards and playing spells, so I think these are good. Could bring in second Calming Verse, but you don't really want too much of that effect because you'd rather just wait and then Calming Verse later anyway. So I think 1 is solid. Plus, they might not have an enchantment early, so I think 1 is good. We'll keep this. Opponent mulligans to 5. I think I liked Owlbear better than Jewel Thief in this deck because, again, you want all your creatures to draw a card if you can. I could sprawl this turn because then if I draw untapped land, I get to land destroy next turn. Opponent says GG's. I'm going to say maybe. Might as well just go for it because if I draw untapped land, it's really good. Yeah, it's 7-5, and they have a bounce lane that we're gonna get to kill, so it's looking pretty bad for them, but it's not over. But it's looking good for our side for sure. They have no white sources. I'm still just gonna land destroy them. I get more mana. I don't care about desert at all, I don't think. Could have waited for them to play a colored source, but I'd rather just play that spell now. If they had a colored source, they would have played it last turn. Okay, well. All right, so I have 4, 5, 6, potentially 7 mana. Kind of want a candidate, but I think I can just save it too. Just get a boarding party here. Into Calming Verse. Classic. Opponent's asking how many LD in the deck. Journey to Nowhere. Classic. Okay, so I'll just tell him. All right, so I just can go bolt my own boarding party here. I don't know if that's actually good though. Just let this resolve. I can just bolt one of their creatures too. No attack from the opponent. Sure. I'm not gonna bolt anything because I can cannonade. Actually, just gonna owlbear here first. Boarding party next turn. I think the opponent was just asking how many land destruction spells are in her hand because if we had like two, they would just concede. Should probably crack Clue, right? They have Guardian's Pledge here or something. I think that's what they have. Wild Growth. Boarding party into Packmate. Sweet. Dino, love it. So if they go for Pledge, I can just bolt. Oh, Cathar Commando. That's interesting. Probably just going to bolt it. They can sack and kill an enchantment, but I don't really care about that. They don't even. I guess it does. Killing one of our enchant lands doesn't really do anything. They should have double blocked boarding party, right? I guess they're gonna go for like a Guardian's Pledge for the win somehow. But I'm just gonna cannonade here. That's game. Just a 7-card hand versus a 5. GG's. These creatures are just so big for Pauper. This deck is really, really good. I haven't really had time to play in the challenges on the weekend, but honestly, I would consider registering this. I just think it's a really strong choice. Now there's just so many creatures that cantrip. Now you get you're less like essentially punished by flood because of Racer's Ring. And the Cascade creatures are just so strong. You have a really explosive mana package. Yeah, no changes. I think I like Owlbear again over Jewel Thief because while Jewel Thief is cheaper, you really want to avoid flood as much as possible. So you want to draw cards with every creature you can. 5 mana, it's a little bit clunky, but I think it's worth it. I do like all the land destruction spells because Pauper has clunky mana. You know, a lot of decks are a base color, splash another color. You can take them off that color. You can kill their tap lands. You can just totally mana screw them. So I do like the 8 land destruction spell. So I like where this list is at. I'm going to jam it tomorrow in paper. That'll do it for this YouTube video. No changes. Um, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Till next time, YouTube. Peace.